Imagine a river, an artery of life and commerce, flowing through a landscape yet to be dominated by stone and steel. This is the River Thames, long before London was the sprawling metropolis we know today. To the Romans, who first established a settlement here named Londinium, this river was everything. It was a highway for trade, a defensive barrier, and a vital source of water. Its strategic importance was undeniable. Anyone who controlled this bend in the river controlled access to the heart of Britain. The Romans built a wall, a bridge, and a bustling port. They understood that this place was a key, a gateway to the island's riches. For centuries, the Thames flowed, witnessing the rise and fall of empires, its banks a silent testament to the ebb and flow of power. But the most formidable symbol of control was yet to come, born from a wave of conquest that would forever change the face of this land and the destiny of its people. This river, the lifeblood of ancient London, was about to become the backdrop for a story of power, fear, and enduring legacy, all starting with a single, imposing stone tower. The year is 1066, a pivotal moment in English history. Across the Channel, a formidable force is gathering. William, Duke of Normandy, has his eyes set on the English throne. After the decisive Battle of Hastings, where King Harold Godwinson falls, William marches on London. The city, defiant but ultimately outmatched, surrenders. William the Conqueror is crowned King of England on Christmas Day. But conquest is one thing, control is another. The new king faced a restless and hostile population. He needed to assert his authority to stamp his power onto the very landscape. He needed a symbol of Norman domination, a fortress that would intimidate and subjugate the rebellious Londoners. So, in the southeast corner of the old Roman walls, right by the river, he commanded the construction of a mighty stone keep. This was not to be just any castle. It was to be a statement, using stone imported from his native Normandy, a stark, white material that would gleam menacingly over the wooden city. He began to build. This initial structure, which we now know as the White Tower, was a stark reminder to all who saw it. A new power had arrived, and it was here to stay. It was a fist of stone, a perpetual thread of force, ensuring the Norman grip on England would never loosen. The foundations of fear were laid. From that single, intimidating keep, the Tower of London began to grow, evolving from a symbol of conquest into an intricate machine of control. Over the next 2 centuries, William's successors would add layer upon layer to his original fortress. King Richard the Lionheart, a formidable warrior king, understood the need for even greater security. He commanded the digging of a massive moat around the castle, flooding it with the waters of the Thames. He also enclosed the White Tower within a new stone curtain wall, punctuated by defensive towers. This wasn't just about keeping people out. It was also about keeping people in. His brother, King John, further expanded these defenses. But it was Henry III who truly transformed the tower into the concentric fortress we recognize today. He built an imposing new curtain wall, enclosing the existing one, creating a formidable double line of defense. 13 towers were studied along this new outer wall. He also reinforced the entrance, building the mighty Wakefield and Lanthorn Towers to serve as a grand gateway to the inner sanctum. His son, Edward I, completed the masterpiece of medieval military architecture. He added yet another outer wall, creating a third defensive ring, and constructed the iconic Water Gate, later known as Traitor's Gate. The tower was no longer just a keep. It was a complex, a city within a city, designed to project the crown's absolute power and crush any thought of rebellion. It was a masterpiece of medieval engineering, built for one purpose: total, unyielding control. While its stone walls projected an image of grim military might, the Tower of London was also, for centuries, a royal palace. Behind the formidable defenses, a world of surprising comfort and even luxury existed. Henry III, the same king who massively expanded its fortifications, also lavished attention on the royal apartments within the inner ward. He wasn't just a castle builder. He was a man of refined taste. He ordered the interiors to be whitewashed and painted with beautiful murals, including one depicting the coronation of Edward the Confessor. The Wakefield Tower, with its grand fireplace and large windows, became part of a splendid royal suite. The Lanthorn Tower was sumptuously decorated to serve as the Queen's private apartments. For the medieval monarchs, the tower was a secure urban base, a safe haven in a turbulent city. It was from here that they prepared for their coronations, processing in grand style from the Tower to Westminster Abbey. It was a place of lavish feasts, royal councils, and magnificent ceremonies. Imagine the contrast: the opulent tapestries, the crackling fires and grand hearths, the glittering court life, all taking place within the cold, hard shell of a fortress built on fear. This duality is the key to understanding the Tower. It was a golden cage. The luxury and power enjoyed by the royals were directly underwritten by the terror the fortress inspired in their subjects. It was a palace, yes, but a palace whose very foundations were a constant, silent threat. The Tower's dual role as palace and fortress slowly began to shift. As England became more stable and monarchs preferred more comfortable palaces like Westminster and Windsor, the Tower's residential function waned. Its thick walls and inescapable design made it perfectly suited for a new, more sinister purpose: a high-security state prison. Its name would become synonymous with incarceration, intrigue, and death. The first prominent prisoner was Ranulph Flambard, Bishop of Durham, who was imprisoned here in 1100 and made the first recorded escape. But it was during the tumultuous Wars of the Roses and the Tudor dynasty that the Tower earned its darkest reputation. King Henry VI was murdered here, a victim of the brutal dynastic struggle. Perhaps the most haunting mystery is that of the princes in the Tower. After their father, King Edward IV, died, his two young sons, Edward V and his brother Richard, were lodged in the Tower, supposedly for their own protection, by their uncle, the future Richard III. The boys were seen playing in the grounds, then they vanished, never to be seen again, presumed murdered within these walls. The Tudor period saw the Tower's cells filled with those who fell from royal favor. Two of Henry VIII's wives, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard, were imprisoned here before their executions on Tower Green. The young Lady Jane Grey, the nine-day queen, met the same fate. Even the future Queen Elizabeth I was imprisoned here by her half-sister, Queen Mary. The Tower became the final stop for enemies of the state, a place where the powerful and the pious alike faced their end, their stories forever etched into the cold stones. Beyond the grim realities of politics and power, the Tower of London is steeped in myths, beasts, and legends that add to its mystique. For over 600 years, it was home to a spectacular and exotic collection of animals, the Royal Menagerie. It began in the 13th century, when King John started keeping lions here. The collection grew when Emperor Frederick II gifted Henry III 3 leopards, in a nod to the English coat of arms. But the most famous arrival was a polar bear, a gift from the King of Norway, which was apparently allowed to swim and fish in the River Thames on a long chain. The menagerie also housed elephants, tigers, eagles, and all manner of strange creatures, a symbol of the monarch's power and reach across the world. It was a major tourist attraction for centuries, until the animals were moved to form the new London Zoo in 1832. And then there are the ravens. Legend has it that the kingdom and the Tower will fall if the 6 resident ravens ever leave the fortress. This belief is said to have started during the reign of King Charles II. To this day, a raven master cares for the birds, and their wings are clipped to ensure they don't stray too far. And of course, a place with such a dark history is bound to have ghost stories. The most famous is the ghost of Anne Boleyn, said to wander the corridors near the site of her execution, sometimes carrying her own head. The specters of the two little princes are also said to be seen. Hand in hand, their silent figures, a haunting reminder of the tower's most enduring mystery. These tales, whether true or not, have become part of the tower's very identity, weaving a rich tapestry of folklore around its formidable stone walls. The Tower of London is not just a relic of the medieval past. It's a living monument that has weathered the storms of the modern era and adapted to a changing world. It has continued to play a role in Britain's story right up to the present day. During the First World War, the tower was used to execute 11 captured spies. In the Second World War, it once again served as a prison. The last state prisoner held here was Rudolf Hess, Hitler's deputy, who was briefly incarcerated in 1941 after his bizarre flight to Scotland. The tower itself suffered bomb damage during the Blitz, a stark reminder that even this ancient fortress was not immune to the horrors of modern warfare. But the 20th century also saw the tower solidify its role as guardian of the nation's most precious treasures. Since the 14th century, the crown jewels have been kept at the tower, but their display has become a central part of the visitor experience. Millions come from around the globe to gaze upon the breathtaking collection of crowns, orbs, and scepters, symbols of the enduring British monarchy. The tower has gracefully transitioned from a symbol of terrifying power to one of national heritage. It's now managed by historic royal palaces and its yeoman warders or beefeaters, who were once the guards of the monarch, and the prisoners now act as charismatic tour guides, sharing its incredible stories with millions of visitors each year. From a Roman riverbank to a Norman fortress, a royal palace to a dreaded prison, and now a world-class museum and UNESCO World Heritage Site. The Tower of London stands as a powerful testament to nearly 1,000 years of history, conflict, and survival. Its stones have seen it all, and they continue to watch over a city that has grown and changed around them. Their secrets and stories waiting for the next generation to discover. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow for more stories from history.